Your bank account. If you skip, you will lose it. Listen carefully, my child, stop for a moment. What I'm about to reveal is something the universe has been quietly whispering to you all along, a hidden truth that only those ready will truly feel. You may have sensed it, that gentle nudge in your heart, that quiet unease or unexplained pull guiding your steps, but now, the veil is lifting, and the message is meant for you. I need you to breathe and listen. Because this is not ordinary. This is sacred. Right now, something is stirring in the unseen realms of your life, something that has been waiting patiently for your awareness. It's a shift, subtle yet undeniable, and it carries within it a divine signal. A secret code of the universe that aligns with your soul's deepest purpose. What you are about to hear may feel like destiny knocking at your door. This hidden truth is about more than luck, more than effort. It is about alignment. The cosmos is trying to tell you that your timing is precise, that your next step, though perhaps unclear, holds a key to your awakening. And this is where you must pay absolute attention, your bank account. If you skip, you will lose it. Listen carefully. These words are not just about numbers or wealth, they are a mirror, a divine reflection of abundance, opportunity, and the flow of energy that surrounds you. Ignoring this guidance now could mean bypassing a blessing that has been quietly arranged for you since before you even realized it existed. Feel it in your chest, the subtle tightening, the whisper of recognition. That is the universe speaking directly to you. It is saying, you are ready. You are worthy. You are being called. And in that calling lies something beautiful, a revelation that your life is not random, that your steps, even your hesitations, have been orchestrated to bring you exactly to this moment. The hidden doors you didn't even know existed are waiting, and the key has always been within your awareness, within your openness to notice, to trust, to act. Imagine the possibilities when you finally see it clearly, when the hidden currents of your path become visible, when fear dissolves into understanding, and uncertainty transforms into divine clarity. This is not a coincidence. This is a message meant to awaken your heart, to stir your spirit, to remind you that every challenge, every delay, every almost has led you to this point of revelation. You are on the verge of something extraordinary. Take this as your sacred invitation. Step gently, yet with courage, into what is waiting. Open your heart to the unseen, trust the timing, and embrace the guidance being offered. A wave of clarity, hope, and divine purpose is moving toward you, and it is ready to settle in your life now. Watch this video fully, feel every word, and allow the truth to settle deeply into your spirit. Like, share, and subscribe, because these messages are meant to reach those who are ready to awaken, and watching till the end will ensure you don't miss the next divine step the universe has prepared for you. I speak now, not as thunder that frightens you, nor as fire that consumes, but as the quiet authority that has always walked beside your breath. Do not rush. Do not be alarmed by the words you just heard. I am not speaking of numbers on a screen, nor am I threatening you with loss. I am speaking in symbols, because the deepest truths are too vast for shallow language. When I say your bank account, I am pointing to the storehouse of your life, your time, your energy, your faith, your attention, your inner wealth. And when I say listen carefully, it is because this moment is delicate, like dew resting on a leaf before sunrise. You live in a world that constantly withdraws from you. Every worry makes a withdrawal. Every fear makes a withdrawal. Every moment you doubt your worth, your purpose, or your future, something is taken from the account of your soul. Yet you have been taught to only watch what is visible, to protect what can be touched, while neglecting what truly sustains you. I am calling you now, not to panic, but to awaken. Because many walk through their days rich in appearance and bankrupt in spirit, smiling on the outside while empty within. Listen carefully, because timing matters. There are seasons when silence is safe, and seasons when silence costs you growth. This is not a message of punishment. It is a message of awareness. I do not come to take from you. I come to remind you of what has already been placed in your care. Long before you worried about provision, I planted gifts in you. Long before you feared loss, I designed you with abundance in mind. But abundance cannot remain where neglect rules. You have been distracted, not because you are weak, but because you are valuable. What has no worth is not targeted. What carries light attracts noise. That is why your mind feels crowded, why your focus is constantly interrupted, why your peace feels fragmented. The world competes aggressively for your attention because attention is currency. Where your attention goes, your life follows. This is why I say, if you skip listening, not to a video, not to a voice, but to wisdom, you risk losing more than you realize. I see how tired you are. I see how often you give without refilling. I see how you keep promising yourself that rest will come later, that reflection will wait, that healing can be postponed. But later has a cost. Everything delayed without intention begins to decay. This is not condemnation, this is clarity. I am inviting you to pause before depletion becomes normal to you. I am inviting you to recognize that you were not created to survive on spiritual overdraft. There are thoughts you have been entertaining that drain you quietly. You call them realism, but they are rooted in fear. You call them caution, but they are built on mistrust. Each time you agree with a thought that says you are behind, you withdraw confidence. Each time you agree with a voice that says you are alone, you withdraw hope. Each time you agree with the lie that nothing will change, you withdraw faith. Over time, the balance drops, and you wonder why joy feels expensive and peace feels rare. Listen carefully, because I am about to reveal something subtle. Loss does not always announce itself with chaos. Sometimes it comes as numbness. Sometimes it comes as routine. Sometimes it comes as settling for less than what stirs your spirit. The most dangerous losses are the ones that feel normal. That is why I speak now, gently but firmly, before apathy convinces you that this is just how life is. I am not asking you to fear losing anything. Fear has never been my language. I am asking you to value what you carry. You guard your possessions, your passwords, your documents. Yet you hand your inner life to stress without resistance. You allow comparison to access your joy. You allow regret to rewrite your story. Would you give a stranger access to your accounts? Then why give careless thoughts access to your heart? There is a reason you encountered this message now and not earlier. Not later. Timing is part of design. You have been standing at a quiet intersection, unsure why you feel restless, why something feels unfinished. That restlessness is not dissatisfaction with life. It is recognition that more alignment is possible. I am drawing your attention back to the center, back to intention, back to awareness. Not everything that demands urgency deserves it. Not everything that sparkles is valuable. You have been measuring success by external gain, but your soul measures differently. Your soul counts peace. Your soul counts meaning. Your soul counts integrity. When these accounts are full, even storms cannot bankrupt you. When these accounts are neglected, even abundance feels fragile. This is why some have much and feel empty, while others have little and feel grounded. The difference is not circumstance, it is stewardship. I want you to notice how often you rush past moments meant to teach you. Silence is not absence. Stillness is not stagnation. There are insights that only arrive when you slow down enough to receive them. When I say, listen carefully, I am inviting you into that stillness. Not to be overwhelmed, but to be anchored. Not to be afraid, but to be attentive. You are not behind. Let me say that clearly. You are not late. You are not forgotten. But you are being asked to realign. To audit your inner life the way you would review something precious. To notice where energy leaks, where trust has been misplaced, where hope has been deferred. This is not about guilt. Guilt drains. Awareness empowers. I have always spoken to you through nudges, through patterns, through quiet realizations that surface when you least expect them. You call them coincidences. I call them invitations. Every invitation ignored is not punished, but it is postponed. Growth waits patiently, but it does not force itself. That is why skipping awareness feels harmless in the moment but costly over time. Do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you that something will be taken from you if you turn away. I am telling you that something within you remains unused if you never turn inward. Potential unclaimed feels like loss, even though it was never stolen. And the greatest sorrow is not losing what you had, but never becoming what you were capable of becoming. Right now, you are being asked to choose attention over autopilot. Presence over noise. Depth over distraction. This choice does not happen once, it happens repeatedly, quietly, in small moments. When you choose reflection over reaction, you make a deposit. When you choose gratitude over complaint, you make a deposit. When you choose courage over comfort, you make a deposit. Over time, the balance shifts, and you feel stronger without knowing exactly why. I am not finished speaking to you. There are layers to this message that unfold only when you stay with it. Not because I want to keep you here, but because understanding builds gradually, like dawn. You do not command the sun to rise faster, you witness it. In the same way, what I am revealing to you cannot be rushed or concluded prematurely, so stay attentive. Stay open. Let the words settle rather than race. There is more to be uncovered, more to be clarified, more to be gently placed into your awareness. This is not an ending. This is a pause before deeper revelation, and I will continue when you are ready for the next unfolding, because now that you have stayed, now that you have chosen not to rush away, I can speak to you about what lies beneath the surface of your days. Most people never reach this point. They skim life, collecting moments without meaning, mistaking motion for progress. But you have paused, and pausing is sacred. In the pause, truth rises. In the pause, I am heard more clearly, not because I speak louder, but because the noise finally softens. You wonder sometimes why your heart feels heavier at night, why the quiet makes you uneasy. It is not because something is wrong with you. It is because your soul remembers depth in a world that rewards speed. You were not created for constant urgency. You were created for rhythm, work and rest, action and reflection, giving and receiving. When that rhythm is broken, imbalance grows quietly, like a hairline crack in a foundation. From the outside, everything still looks fine, until one day you realize the structure feels unstable. I speak of your account again, not to frighten you, but to teach you discernment. There are people, habits, and expectations that feel productive but secretly drain you. They promise returns but never deliver peace. Not everything that costs effort is an investment. Some things are expenses disguised as opportunity. Wisdom is knowing the difference. And wisdom does not come from pressure, it comes from listening. You have been taught to chase outcomes, to measure your worth by results. But I measure by alignment. Are your actions aligned with your values? Are your pursuits aligned with your spirit? Are your sacrifices aligned with love rather than fear? When alignment is present, even small steps carry weight. When alignment is absent, even great achievements feel hollow. This is why some of your victories did not satisfy you the way you expected. It was not because they were wrong, but because they were incomplete without inner harmony. Listen carefully now, because this part is easily misunderstood. I do not rush you, but I do not delay truth either. There are moments when awareness knocks softly, and moments when it insists. This is an insisting moment, not aggressive, not forceful, but firm. You are being invited to take responsibility for what you allow to influence you. Influence is power. Every voice you trust shapes you. Every belief you repeat strengthens a direction. Choose carefully what you allow to speak over your life. You do not need to carry everything alone. Independence has been praised so loudly that you forgot interdependence is also sacred. Even the strongest structures rely on balance. Even the brightest stars exist within constellations. You were never meant to isolate your burdens and call it strength. True strength knows when to lean, when to ask, when to rest. Pride drains faster than effort ever could. I see how often you replay the past, as if reviewing it might change its outcome. Reflection is useful, rumination is costly. There is a difference. Reflection extracts wisdom and releases the rest. Rumination traps energy in what no longer requires it. Every time you rehearse regret without compassion, you make a withdrawal from your present. I do not ask you to forget your past, I ask you to stop paying interest on it. You are allowed to grow beyond versions of yourself that once kept you safe. Gratitude for who you were does not require loyalty to who you no longer need to be. Growth sometimes feels like betrayal to old habits, old fears, old identities. But it is not betrayal, it is evolution. And evolution always feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. There is something you have been postponing, a conversation, a decision, a change you know is necessary but inconvenient. You tell yourself the timing is not right, that conditions need to be perfect first. But perfection is not a prerequisite for obedience to inner truth. Clarity often comes after movement, not before. Waiting for certainty can quietly become avoidance. And avoidance, over time, becomes loss of momentum. I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to take honest steps. Small steps count. Consistent steps compound. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are becoming. This is not pressure, this is empowerment. You are not as powerless as you sometimes feel. You have more agency than fear would like you to believe. Notice how often you underestimate the impact of your daily choices. You think transformation requires dramatic moments, but most change is quiet and cumulative. The way you speak to yourself in the morning. The way you react when things don't go as planned. The way you treat others when no reward is visible. These moments seem insignificant, yet they shape your inner wealth more than any single event. I have watched you compare your path to others and feel diminished. Comparison is a thief not because others succeed, but because it distracts you from your own assignment. You are not late to someone else's life, you are early to your own becoming. Your timeline is not flawed, it is specific. What grows slowly often grows strong roots. What arrives quickly often lacks endurance. Listen carefully, because this is a truth that brings relief if you let it. You do not need to earn my attention. You already have it. You do not need to prove your worth. You already carry it. Effort without love exhausts you. Effort fueled by purpose sustains you. When you align effort with meaning, energy multiplies instead of depleting. There are things you fear losing that are already teaching you what matters. Sometimes attachment disguises itself as security. Sometimes release is the doorway to peace. I will never force release upon you, but I will continue to reveal where holding on costs more than letting go. You will know the difference not by logic alone, but by the weight you feel inside. You are not meant to be constantly alert, constantly defending, constantly striving. Hypervigilance is not faith, it is fatigue. Trust does not mean ignoring reality, it means not allowing reality to erase hope. When you trust, you move with steadiness rather than panic. Panic drains. Steadiness builds. I want you to understand something deeply. Abundance is not just what comes to you, it is what flows through you without fear. When you cling, circulation stops. When you trust, circulation continues. This applies to ideas, love, opportunities, and growth. Hoarding energy leads to stagnation. Allowing flow leads to renewal. You may feel right now like you are standing at the edge of something undefined. That feeling is not danger, it is transition. Transitions feel uncertain because the old no longer fits and the new has not fully formed. Do not rush to label this discomfort as failure. It is evidence of movement. Stillness with awareness is not stagnation, it is preparation. I am still speaking, and there is still more to unfold. What I am revealing is layered, intentional, and gentle enough to be carried, yet strong enough to change you if you let it. Do not rush to conclusions. Do not try to summarize this moment. Let it remain open. Let curiosity replace anxiety. Let listening replace resistance. I will continue, but not all at once. Some truths settle only when given space. Stay present. Stay receptive. This message is not complete yet, and neither is the work happening within you. When you are ready, when you feel the nudge again, the next unfolding will meet you right where you are. Now I will bring this message to its completion, not abruptly, but with intention, because endings matter as much as beginnings. You have walked with these words long enough for them to settle, and what settles becomes usable. What is usable becomes transformative. Nothing I have spoken was meant to impress you, it was meant to realign you. There is a quiet strength forming in you when you choose awareness over avoidance. You may not feel dramatic change, but you will notice subtle shifts, how you respond instead of react. How you pause instead of panic, how you listen instead of rush to answer. These are signs of inner wealth returning. These are deposits you are making without applause, without recognition, yet with lasting impact. Understand this clearly: you are not meant to control everything. Control exhausts the soul because it demands certainty where life offers mystery. Trust does not remove responsibility, it refines it. When you release the need to manage every outcome, you gain the capacity to show up fully in the moment you are actually living. Presence is more valuable than prediction. There will still be challenges. Awareness does not eliminate difficulty, it equips you to move through it without losing yourself. Storms will come, but storms do not define the strength of the roots. What happens beneath the surface does. Every time you choose honesty with yourself, you deepen those roots. Every time you choose compassion over judgment, you strengthen them. Every time you choose patience over force, you anchor them further. I want you to stop waiting for permission to become more whole. You do not need external validation to honor your inner knowing. You do not need constant reassurance to trust the path unfolding beneath your feet. Growth often looks quiet from the outside and feels uncertain on the inside, but uncertainty is not absence of direction, it is openness to learning. There is wisdom in tending to your inner life daily. Not only when things feel broken. Maintenance prevents collapse. Reflection prevents regret. Gratitude prevents scarcity from taking over your thinking. These are not lofty ideas, they are practical disciplines. Small, Consistent care keeps the account of your soul from slipping into neglect. Remember this: rest is not laziness, and stillness is not wasted time. Renewal is part of creation's design. Even the earth pauses between seasons. If you refuse rest, you eventually lose clarity. If you honor rest, clarity returns naturally. You do not have to earn the right to breathe deeply. You are allowed to slow down without explanation. There will be moments when old fears try to reclaim your attention. They may sound familiar, even convincing. Do not fight them aggressively. Simply do not fund them. Attention is fuel. Where you withhold it, influence fades. Redirect gently. Choose thoughts that expand rather than constrict. Choose narratives that empower rather than diminish. You are learning that abundance is not something you chase. It is something you align with. When your values, actions, and intentions point in the same direction, effort feels lighter. Life does not become effortless, but it becomes meaningful. Meaning sustains you when motivation wavers. I want you to leave this message knowing that you are capable of stewardship, of your time, your energy, your focus, your hope. You are not fragile in the way fear has suggested. You are adaptable. You are learning. You are becoming more discerning about what deserves access to you. This discernment is not hardness. It is wisdom. Do not measure progress by perfection. Measure it by awareness. Each time you notice and choose differently, you grow. Each time you return to presence after distraction, you grow. Each time you extend grace to yourself, you grow. Growth is not a straight line, it is a practiced return. As this message ends, let it not feel like something you consumed, but something you carry forward. Let it influence how you listen, how you choose, how you rest. Let it remind you that your inner wealth matters more than any external tally. When your inner life is tended, the outer life finds its balance. I have said what needed to be said for this moment. Not everything needs to be understood immediately. Some truths work quietly, unfolding over time. Trust that what resonated will remain with you, and what did not is free to pass without pressure. Go forward with steadiness. Guard your attention. Honor your pace. Invest in what gives life back to you. And remember, nothing of real value in you is fragile. What is aligned endures. Amen.